Your Alabama real estate exam is around the corner, so let's test your knowledge, see how you're doing, okay? We'll take a short 25-question practice exam right now just to see how much you know. Good luck! If Lily is a licensed real estate broker and wants to advertise her own home for sale, what must she do? A. She must disclose her own interest in the property in writing to all involved parties. B. She must disclose that she is a licensed real estate broker. C. She must comply with applicable advertising laws. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer, yeah, you got it, is D. All of the above. Licensed property owners advertising their own property for lease or sale must disclose their own interest in the property in writing to all involved parties. They must also disclose their real estate licensure and comply with all advertising laws. Local or county governments within Alabama may not, watch out for this on your tests, not or except, may not, A, impose a tax on real estate signage used to advertise the sale of property. B. Restrict the placement of signage for the sale of property. C. Set rules on the size of signage used to advertise the sale of real estate. Or D. Restrict the height of signage used to advertise the sale of property. The correct answer is A. Impose a tax on real estate signage used to advertise the sale of property. Local, county, and city governments in Alabama may restrict the size, height, and placement of signs used to advertise real estate for sale or lease, but they may not impose a fee or tax on signage allowed by Alabama law. Which of the following statements is false? Watch out, false. A. Any person who gets information, advice, or services from a real estate licensee is a consumer. B. A consumer's agreement based on full disclosure needed to choose brokerage services is informed consent. C. A person being provided brokerage services when there is no agency agreement is a customer. Or D. Property management services that require licensure are often included in available brokerage services. The correct answer of which is false is D. Property management services that require licensure are often included in available brokerage services. Brokerage services include real estate activities that require licensure, but do not include rental or property management activities. Something of significance that may affect a party's decision whether or not to enter into a contract is called A or an A. Fiduciary duty, B. Material fact, C. Informed consent, or D. Brokerage service. The correct answer is B. A material fact. A material fact is significant information that may affect a party's decision to enter into a contract. Which law sets the roles and duties of real estate brokers? A. TILA or TILA. B. RESPA, RESPA. C. AREC, AREC. Or D. Recad, RECAD. The correct answer is D. Recad. The Alabama legislature enacted the Real Estate Consumers Agency and Disclosure Act, or Recad, to set roles and duties of real estate brokers. If you like these questions, you can get thousands more just like them. We have an online exam prep package that you can buy to get instant access to our database of study resources, like unlimited practice exams, vocabulary flashcards, and an ebook study guide that explains concepts and math formulas that you'll need to know for your Alabama real estate exam. The link for that is in the description and the comments below. All right, let's get back to these questions. According to Alabama law, when must a licensee disclose a non-agency relationship to the consumer? A, at first contact, B, at first property showing, C, when the consumer asks about available services, or D, before confidential information is exchanged. The correct answer is D, before confidential information is exchanged. Recad requires licensees to disclose a non-agency relationship as soon as reasonably possible before any confidential information has been exchanged. Available brokerage services must be disclosed at the same time. What is the difference between a customer and a client? A client pays the commission. B, a client is a seller while a customer is a buyer. C, a client has signed an agreement for specific services. Or D, a licensee has duties to a client but not to a customer. The correct answer is C, a client has signed an agreement for specific services. A client has signed an agreement for specific services while a customer obtains brokerage's services without signing an agreement. Which of the following is not an allowed brokerage relationship in Alabama? A limited, non-consensual dual agency. B, a single agency. C, a sub-agency. Or D, a transaction brokerage. The correct answer is A, a limited, non-consensual dual agency. The four brokerage relationships allowed by Recad are transaction brokerage, single agency, limited consensual dual agency, and sub-agency. All dual agencies must be consent to in writing by all involved parties. Broker Josiah is representing both the buyer and the seller in the sale of a property in Birmingham. To legally do this, what must Josiah do? A, disclose the non-agency relationship to both the buyer and seller. B, sign an agency agreement with both clients qualifying a broker prior to providing any brokerage services. C, obtain written consent from both clients to enter into a relationship agreement. Or D, notify both clients which will receive preferential treatment during the transaction. The correct answer is C, obtain written consent from both clients to enter into the relationship agreement. When representing both the buyer and the seller in a limited consensual dual agency relationship, the broker must obtain written informed consent from both parties to enter into the relationship agreement. There is no need for a non-agency disclosure if there is a signed relationship agreement, and neither client is to receive preferential treatment or favoritism of any kind. Signing an agreement with the client's qualifying broker is done in sub-agency. And anytime you see written consent by both parties or any party, that's probably the right answer. Pleading nolo contundere means the accused A, admits guilt but does not agree to accept punishment. B, accepts responsibility for the crime and accepts punishment. C, denies responsibility for the crime and does not agree to punishment. Or D, does not admit guilt but accepts punishment. The correct answer is D, does not admit guilt but accepts punishment. Pleading nolo contundere is not an admission of guilt or an acceptance or denial of responsibility for the crime, but it is an agreement to accept punishment. If John receives an offer on a property he has listed and does not present the offer to the seller because John thinks the offer has too many conditions attached, has John violated the law? A, no. John is looking out for the best interest of his client as required by law. B, no, as the client's agent, John is acting on his client's behalf by rejecting the offer. C, yes, John is misrepresenting the situation to the customer submitting the offer, or D, yes, John is failing to fulfill his obligations to his client. The correct answer is D, yes, John is failing to fulfill his obligations to his client. As an agent, John's obligations to his client require that he present all offers to the client, regardless of whether John thinks the offer is good or bad. By not presenting the offer, John is failing to fulfill his obligations and thus violating license law. And keep in mind, you're not the one buying or selling the property, you're representing the one buying or selling the property. It's their decision. Tim has been convicted of forging his client's signature on several documents. As a real estate broker, which license law has Tim violated? A, dishonest dealings, bad faith, untrustworthiness. B, not fulfilling obligations to transaction parties. C, pleading guilty or nolo contundere. Or D, all of the above. The correct answer is D, all of the above. Being honest and trustworthy in real estate dealings are required by license law. So Tim has violated the law that requires honest dealings, good faith, and trustworthiness. He has also failed to fulfill his obligations to his client because one of those obligations is to be honest and provide services in good faith. Further, Tim has been found guilty of a crime involving moral turpitude, which is a violation under the pleading guilty or nolo contundere law. Therefore, Tim has violated all of the laws listed. Which of the following constitutes illegal commingling? A, depositing funds from different transactions into the same trust account. B, depositing funds from different clients into the same trust account. C, depositing client funds and business funds for the same transaction into the same trust account. Or D, depositing business funds to cover bank charges into a client trust account. The correct answer is C, depositing client funds and business funds for the same transaction into the same trust account. Commingling occurs when money belonging to others is deposited into the same account as money belonging to the broker or broker company. Funds belonging to multiple transactions or multiple clients can be deposited into the same account, just as the broker may deposit enough of his or her own funds to cover bank charges for the trust account. Why is taking a net listing a law violation? A, the commission is not based on a percent of the sale price. B, the seller does not agree to the amount of commission paid. C, the sale price is set with no room for negotiation with the buyer. Or D, the listing is prohibited in Alabama. The correct answer is D. Simple. The listing is prohibited in Alabama. Alabama is one of many states that prohibit net listings. The risk of conflict of interest is too high and often results in the licensee failing to put the client's interest above his or her own. The law regarding the listing agreement expiration date: A, requires automatic extensions. B, requires the agreement to be in writing. C, prohibits a set expiration date. Or D, prohibits agreements lasting less than 60 days. The correct answer is B, requires the agreement to be in writing. To avoid a law violation, all listing agreements must be in writing, must include a set expiration date, must not allow automatic extensions, and must have a copy of the agreement provided to the principal. Again, if you see in writing, it's probably the right answer. Whether or not a rebate or incentive is a violation of the law depends on A, why it is given, B, how much is given, C, when it is given, or D, who gives it. The correct answer is C, when it is given. In Alabama, rebates or incentives must be given before or at closing and must be disclosed to all parties involved in the transaction, including the lender. A rebate or incentive given after the transaction closes violates the law. Therefore, when the rebate or incentive is given and whether it is disclosed determines if it is a violation or not. Which of the following violations could result in criminal charges being brought against the licensee? A. Offering a lottery. B. Compensating an unlicensed individual for performing real estate acts that require licensure. C. Accepting compensation for anyone other than the qualifying broker. Or D. Failure to provide estimated closing statements. The correct answer is A. Offering a lottery. Lotteries of any kind are illegal in Alabama. So offering a lottery is not only against license law, it is also against criminal statutes and could result in criminal charges against the licensee offering the lottery. If Dennis owns a business that only collects funds owed in relation to real estate transactions, does Dennis or the business need to be licensed under Alabama real estate license law? A. No, because Dennis and the business are not performing acts that require licensure. B. No, because Dennis performs real estate acts under the brokerage for whom he collects funds. C. Yes, because Dennis is being compensated for collecting the funds. Or D. Yes, because collecting funds in relation to real estate transactions requires licensure. The correct answer is A. No, because Dennis and the business are not performing acts that require licensure. Individuals in business whose sole purpose is to receive payments in relation to real estate transactions do not need a real estate license unless they are performing real estate acts for compensation. Dennis and his company are not performing real estate acts. Which of the following statements is true? A. Funds belonging to others must be deposited into an insured account. B. Trust fund accounts must insure each deposit for $200,000. C. Trust fund accounts must be located in any bank whose home office is in Alabama. Or D. Trust funds must be deposited into a financial institution located in Alabama. The correct answer is D. Trust funds must be deposited into a financial institution located in Alabama. Alabama law requires that funds belonging to others be deposited into a separate federally insured account in a financial institution located in Alabama. Each deposit is to be insured by the FDIC for $250,000. If a licensee holds a purchase agreement in which the property sale price is $450,000, but discloses to the lender that the sale price is $550,000 so the buyer can obtain a higher mortgage loan, what has the licensee done? A. Performed a dishonest dealing. B. Misrepresented the facts. C. Failed to disclose the true terms of a contract. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer is, you got it, D. All of the above. A licensee misrepresenting the terms of a sale to any lender, guaranteeing agency, or other interested party is a law violation. Misrepresenting the terms of the sale is also dishonest and a failure to disclose the true terms of the contract. Failure to disclose the true terms of a contract is a violation of the law, but the law requires the disclosure to be to whom? A. Any interested party to the contract. B. Only the lender. C. The AREC. Or D. Only any involved guaranteeing agency. The correct answer is A. Any interested party to the contract. Licensees must disclose the true terms of a contract for a real estate sale to any lender, guaranteeing agency, or any other interested party. Which of the following is a violation of Alabama license law? A. Unlicensed person advertising sale of own home. B. Unlicensed person leasing son's property. C. Unlicensed person renting homes for compensation. Or D. Licensee selling own home. The correct answer is C. Unlicensed person renting homes for compensation. Alabama law requires anyone selling, buying, leasing, renting, exchanging real property, or negotiating to perform any of these acts for compensation to be licensed. If an unlicensed person performs any of these acts for compensation, he or she is violating the law. However, unlicensed individuals are allowed to sell their own home or the home belonging to immediate family members. Which of the following statements is false? We're looking for false. A. Unlicensed persons may not be compensated for performing acts that require licensure. B. Employing an unlicensed person to perform real estate activities is against the law. C. Helping an individual circumvent licensing requirements is a law violation. Or D. Simply associating with an unlicensed person who performs real estate activities for compensation is not a violation. The correct answer of which is false is D. Simply associating with an unlicensed person who performs real estate activities for compensation is not a violation. Unlicensed individuals performing any real estate acts that require licensure and receiving compensation for those acts are violating license law. A licensee who employs, helps, or even associates with unlicensed individuals performing acts that require licensure is also violating the law. An agent's obligation to work for the best interest of a client is known as their A. Righteous duty, B. Moral obligation, C. Fiduciary duty, or D. Social contract. The correct answer is C. Fiduciary duty. An agent's fiduciary duty is to work for the best interest of the client by fulfilling the responsibilities owed to the client. Jesse's client has filed a legal suit against him for mishandling the client's trust funds. Jesse knows he is required to notify the AREC of any legal action being taken against him. Wanting to be sure he meets the 10-day deadline for notifying the AREC, Jesse hand-delivers the complaint to the Commission's office. However, Jesse is later notified by the AREC that he has failed to report the legal action in accordance with the law. How has Jesse violated the law? A. Jesse did not also notify his qualifying broker of the action. B. Jesse did not send the notification to the AREC via certified mail. C. Jesse did not include an explanation of his actions along with the complaint. Or D. Jesse did not violate the law. The AREC is in error. The correct answer is B. Jesse did not send the notification to the AREC via certified mail. When a licensee has legal action taken against him or her, the licensee is required to notify the AREC within 10 days of receiving the notice of action. The notification must be in writing, must include a copy of the summons and complaint, and must be sent to the AREC via certified mail. While hand-delivering the notice may seem like a good idea, doing so did not meet the requirements of the law. Okay, that's all the questions. So, how'd you do? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you want to watch another exam prep video, then I highly recommend this one right here. All right, everyone, that's all for today. I'll see you next time.